Okay. Good to go. And, huh? Oh, yeah. Oh, there we go. And welcome to Coma, My 70s Kitchen. I'm Joe Riccio, and welcome to our second live episode, which we're very excited to do. Yesterday, we made some chowder, which was delightful. We kind of explored the world of Thanksgiving leftovers. And then today, I was like, you know what? I just want to show something for those nights when you really don't feel, you don't necessarily want to go get takeout, and you don't want to make a big production out of things. You just want to slap a chicken in a marinade, call it a day. So we're going to make Buldak, which is Korean fire chicken. This dish was made popular by Mung Chi. She's a Korean, she's a cooking show on the web. She's from Korea. She's amazing. All of her dishes are insane. I recently watched an episode with her and Sean Evans where she made fried chicken that kind of made me jealous of what I'm making today because it even looked better than this. But this is amazing. Just really, you know, spicy, cheesy, ricey, all the things you need. So what we're going to do, I think it was a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, I bought myself a Le Creuset pie plate thinking that it would make me make pies. I've never made a pie in it. It basically it's here for marinating chicken now. It's a good vessel for that. It's attractive, the ultramarine look here. So what I've got here, I've got chicken that is chicken thighs, chopped up into chunks, marinated in. Actually, I'm going to grab something off camera here. So marinated in, just like when we did the kimchi stew, marinated in gochujang. So that's a spicy Korean chili paste. You can find it any Asian market. Actually, they even have it at Hannaford these days, or the supermarket. It's also got gochugaru, which is a Korean dried chili flake. Again, same situation on chopping. Some brown sugar, sesame. I made a paste out of fresh red Fresno chili, garlic, and ginger with a little bit of rice vinegar. Give it a little pep in there. I also use this Zongba handcrafted soy sauce that I got from the Mala Market, which you check out their website. This is it's brewed and it's aged for 360 days. It's the best soy sauce I've ever tasted in my life. It is expensive, all things considered, but I mean, you don't go through soy sauce that fast. And this is so damn good that, like, I don't know. You know, it's worth it. It's one of those things that maybe you shouldn't get because then you won't be able to go back to, you know, Kikkoman or whatever. But it is delicious. The Chinese do know a thing or two about making soy sauce. So what have I got going here? I got my cast iron pan going. I got my bougie peanut oil happening in that. We're doing our usual, playing our game of waiting for the pan to heat up. So yeah, then your usual game of the pan heating up and trying not to step on the cat that keeps weaving through my legs. Really wish to stop. But yeah, so that's what we're going to do. And then the whole thing, after we cook it, we're going to top it with a whole bunch of mozzarella cheese. And then we're going to put it right into the broiler until it gets melty and bubbly and delicious, top with some scallions and lime juice. Serve it over some sushi rice that I made with ghee and chicken stock here. So a little more rich than your average sushi rice. But yeah, that's how we're going to do it. That's how we're going to do it all day. So I'm going to start. I think the pan is finally hot enough for me to get the chicken going. I've been marinating this chicken probably for, I don't know, 3 hours, something. I don't want to splatter too much. You want to get all that marinade in there. Okay. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of chicken stock to kind of loosen things up a little bit. Because we're not really stir frying it. There is, like I said, there's brown sugar, there's soy, there's a lot of sugar in this. So I don't want to burn it. So basically, we're going to let it cook now for about 8 to 10 minutes before topping it with the cheese and putting it in the oven. In the meantime, I will start the, remind me to start the broiler. Not that it takes that long to get ripping hot, but yeah, I'm excited about this. I've made this a few times. I'm excited about Bounty paper towels. You know what the worst thing ever is when you go to Hannaford and they don't have any Bounty paper towels because of the apocalypse, and people think that they need to deprive me of my Bounty paper towels. It's the only brand to have. It's just, you know, Vive is okay for like hand towels, but any of that other crap, like, so then you're forced to buy something that's out of necessity, and it's basically like cheap paper towels are like trying to use, you know, do things you do with Bounty, but do it with those like recyclable brown napkins that you get, and they just immediately fall apart. They change a different color when they get wet. It's the worst. So I got my, when I find Bounty at Hannaford, I go all in. I commit. I'm very passionate about paper towels, probably more so than I should be, but that's all right. So our chicken here, like I said, we're just sort of, it doesn't take much because it's all cubed up, and I did bring it to room temp before we cooked it. So it'll get braised. I mean, the thing about cast iron, once it starts, that heat ain't going nowhere. So where we're going with that today is a little a French red. This is a Vindepay Vaucluse, which is in the southeast part of France. This is the Jardin de Ruth. It's important as a wine drinker to, yeah, I'll hold this up. You know, look at a pretty label with all the flowers on it. This is a wine that you should buy in bulk. Like when you drink as much wine as I do, you have to, you know, it's not like I'm always drinking really nice wine, like expensive wine. Like I have wines that taste really good that I know I can, if I want to drink 4 bottles, you know, this is the one I go to because it's delicious. And it also goes with pretty much everything food-wise. You know, just it's a blend of Grenache and Marcelin, which is a native grape to where it's from. But, you know, smaller producer. Drink that all day, all night. It's got a little of that like black pepper rose petal thing happening that I think is just absolutely delicious. Check on Chicken Town here. This is so goddamn good, this dish. I love how much the Koreans love cheese. There's actually one of the things that if you want to be like a, you know, something that's very traditional as like a sort of junk food in Korea, is you get like your ramen packet, like Sapporo ramen, whatever, and you make it. I always make my ramen packets with like chicken stock and scallions, and I poach an egg in there because, you know, you might as well take it up a notch. Same thing I do with rice pilaf and mac and cheese. You know, the only ingredient that's cheap is just what's in the box. It's kind of other stuff going in it, but then they take, so you put the egg in the ramen and poach it, and then they finish it by putting a couple slices of like American cheese, like Kraft Singles, into it. So it makes this like cheesy ramen broth, and it sounds weird, but it's really delicious. I've had it a couple times now. It's one of those things you feel trashy, but we don't judge people for doing trashy stuff, you know, up in here. One thing we don't do. Chicken. All right. I'm going to fire up the broiler just so that's ready to go. How's everybody doing tonight? Who's out there? Yeah, we got people from Portland, Maine here. That's how we roll, you know. Out here in tropical Yarmouth, the people from Portland like to check in every now and then. It's good. As I said, we're sort of experimenting with the live format still. We hoped we fixed our audio from last night. You know, it's all part of the thing. It was no worse than a Zoom call audio-wise, right? I mean, you could hear what I'm saying, and you probably got, you know, a nice break from me whenever you could. So that's good. This is a really easy dish to make. I mean, the hardest part is literally marinating the chicken, which is nothing. You can do it. I mean, you can serve this over like egg noodles. You could serve it over. I know that Mong Chi likes to do these little rice cakes that she kind of crisps up and then simmers them. So they get a little crispy and then simmers them with the chicken. So they get like crispy and chewy, which are delicious, but I like it over rice personally. And rice, I didn't have any rice cakes on hand. Like I have all these things on hand generally. I'm thankful to have this on hand, and I'm not paid to say that at all. I just love this soy sauce and I can't get enough of it. So, all right. Now you don't want to burn it. You want to definitely, you want to be emotionally available for this chicken. Stick around, listen to it, smell it. God, it smells good. Doesn't it smell good? Fucking delicious, right? What am I talking about? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? So I made a couple improvisations here from the Mong Chi recipe. She uses rice syrup. I didn't have any of that, so I did do, I used some peanut oil. I made that paste with a garlic, ginger, fresh chili, and rice vinegar, which, oh my God, that smells so good I could probably just eat it on its own. I figured give a little acidity to it. We're going to add some lime at the end, which I think will be delicious because what does that make worse? I mean, look at this angry red color. I'm excited. We're going to plate it on this from Edgecombe Potters, who is our new partner, a new friend of the show, and they gave us these absolutely beautiful plates and bowls, and also me a mug to present our food on. And as I said yesterday, they're so pretty. I get a little insecure around them. I just adore them. So I'm excited to see the contrast of this like fire red chicken on top of that, all those like blues and grays, and yeah, it's gonna be nice. So I'm gonna go about 3 more minutes, I think, on this. As long as you've got broth in there, you're not really gonna burn it. It's not as easy to burn. You're definitely not gonna overcook chicken thighs. You can make this with chicken breast, of course. You can make it with shrimp. You can make it with pork. I mean, you can literally, this marinade would taste good on everything. So however you want, it's your journey. You know, it's your journey. Just so you know. There isn't one. There aren't any. I mean, I don't think there are any Korean restaurants in Portland, to be honest. I don't think there's a single one. There used to be 3. I like the one that's where Misen is now. Misen, like there are restaurants that have some Korean dishes, but Portland doesn't have any restaurants that I would say are Korean. Oh no, there's that one like Yobo or something. I've never been. It's on so where the like Man Apple Cafe used to be. Anybody knows? Yeah, I find you have to make Korean food these days in Maine. I don't know any place to get really good. You know, I do like. It's funny. This place Chopsticks in Yarmouth. It's a sushi place. It's very like whatever, but they randomly have a really good. I like their dulsa bibimbap, which is the rice dish cooked in the stone bowl with the egg on top and all that. Basically, the sauce that's like this sauce here. That's just good on everything. Look at that. I mean, it's just like, oh, how could that suck? The only way that could suck is if you just ate it raw, and that would suck. Otherwise, we are on a one-way ticket to the district of Flavor. I want to say Flavortown, and then I just want to come up with a different Flavor Township. Flavor, not plantation. That's definitely not where we're going with it. It's a flavor colony. You know, we're blazing new ground in our flavor colony. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah, we got the heads up. We got the approval. The audio is fixed, so that's good. Now you can listen to me drink my wine, and it feels like you're right here with me, and I'm sure that's riveting for you. You know, I look so much better on camera drinking wine than I feel like I do But that's because you're not seeing me like, by the end of the night, like laying in bed, pouring wine in a rocks glass and just shooting it while I play Civilization 6 on my laptop. That's a whole different setup. That to me is that's what pretty much defines the pandemic. Red wine, Civilization, out of the park baseball, cooking food, getting fat. It's it's been really something else to tell you. All right. I think Santa's watch says it's time for this chicken, I think, to go in the broiler. What do you think, Chris? I say good idea. All right. So we're going to kill this silliness here. And now the fun part. Look at all this mozzarella, all this cubed mozzarella cheese that we are going to put all over this thing. And this is the low moisture mozzarella. You don't want to use fresh mozz for this. And also you don't want to use the bagged, already shredded stuff. I find that the flavor isn't as good and the moisture content isn't as spot on as just cubing it up yourself like we did here. Okay, so now putting on my Paul Timberman steel line glove, and we are going to slap this guy into the broiler. Oof. It's too bad you can't see my oven on camera because I tell you, it's the envy of cooks everywhere.
Oh, we got it.
Well, we got it. What?
Third camera.
Oh, good. Third camera. I forgot about third camera. Now what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to wash this just because this had raw chicken on it. I'll be honest. I've worked in restaurants for over 25 years, 42 different restaurants. And I have to be honest, I don't think I've ever really had the desire to work in the back of the house. I've always worked front of the house. Just because it's a fucking hard job and you got to cook the same thing a lot. And I have nothing but respect for people who cook in restaurants. But, however, it would just be amazing to work to have a thing where all you do is cook and prep and somebody else, or even not even prep, just cook. Show up and the food's prepped and somebody does all the dishes for you. Like, that would be worth it. But unfortunately, you don't generally get to start there unless you open your own place and money is just not a concern for you. You just have the luxury of hiring a lot of people right off the bat. So we're just waiting for our chicken now. We're going to drink some more wine. What's everybody doing tonight? What's everybody having for dinner tonight? Not everybody at once. Calm it down. Okay, too many submissions. Everybody just chill it out here. You can only read so fast. It's a Christmas miracle every fucking day. This is, you never even know. It's like I can never tell if I'm on bottle number 3, 4, or 5. It just all kind of blends together. Nothing's any different. All right. Yeah, that's just doing its thing in there in Broiler Town. You excited to eat some cheesy chicken? I am. I was ready to eat this when I was making it just for the marinade earlier. No, it feels just like I'm walking on broken glass. Walking on broken glass while I'm waiting for this thing to cook.
What's the broiler time on that?
You gotta eyeball it. When it's brown and bubbly, and not a second before that. That's when it comes out. Again, chicken thighs, that's the magic. Whatever. We can let it cook. We can let it roll. I feel if you were doing it with like shrimp or something like that, I feel like you'd have to alter your method a little bit. I almost feel like you'd like just go straight in with the cheese on top of it and cook the whole thing in there. I wonder with the shrimp. I don't know. I've not done it that way. I've only done it with chicken because that's the way I was shown. And we got some delicious rice here. Of the rice? Yeah, it's nothing special. Nothing special. Just some sushi rice that I made. It's got the color from the ghee and the chicken stock. You know. It's freaking good. This is a much less involved episode than the live one we shot, the last one. The last one was a lot of waiting. This one is like, seriously, if you just come home from work, or even if you get like a lunch break or whatever, you can go and you can, not that anybody goes to work anymore, if you're just at home and you're using, you know, your own imaginary lunch break, just like toss the chicken in the marinade, be done with it. And then at like 5:30, you just got to pull it out, slap it in a pan, toss some cheese on it, pot of rice, good to go. Make a ton of rice. So that way you can even make like, you know, fried rice while you wait for the chicken to cook. You know, it's like go all kinds of directions. Oh, yeah. We're good. It's time. Oh, yeah. You think? Booyah. Look at that. Ugh. That right there is face scalding goodness. I'm going to top it with all these festive scallions while the getting's good. I mean, it looks like a fucking deep dish pizza or like a lasagna or something. I'm not touching that for a little bit. We're going to spend some time before I even entertain the idea. And also remind me not to touch the cast iron pan because it will burn me in this state. That's why I have the handle pointed at me. Just so I remember to do that. Look at that, though. Come on. That's filthy. It's cheesy chicken. Hi, Rick. No, Doreen is not here. She's regretting it right now, I'm sure, but she's making butternut squash risotto later, so everything's fine. Chris, don't forget the sage. You know what they always say? Yesterday's meatloaf is today's sloppy Joe. Isn't that right? Again, Christmas miracle. Who just said turkey chowder? Yeah, we made that yesterday. The turkey chowder, I'm excited to have it tomorrow because like I said, I usually make my chowder a day in advance. But because of show purposes, you know, but it was delicious last night. Look at this. And the fire sauce is like, I want to come through the cheese. I'm sick of the cheese being the star here. Woof. I think it might be just about time to try plating it up. I'm going to go with the nutritional Chinese spoon here. I think I'm going to squeeze the lime on in the plates. I think that would be good. I think I'm just going to hit it with some white pep and some black pep. Okay. It's not going to need any salt. I can pretty much, I can honestly say that. Confidence. All right, so.
Let's go back over what's in the marinade.
Yep, so the marinade, if you're just joining us now, is gochujang, so Korean fermented chili paste, which gives it a nice kind of depth and fruitiness. Gochujaru, which is Korean chili powder. There's some dark brown sugar in there. There's this hand-brewed soy sauce, zongba from Mala Market, which is delicious. We've got some salts, sesame. I made a paste with garlic, ginger, fresh red chilies, and rice vinegar. That also went into the marinade. And that's, you know, like I said, you're covering all your angles there. And then we sauteed the chicken thighs, and then we topped it with mozzarella cheese. We broiled it. And that's what you're seeing right now. We're going to have it with some sushi rice. Right? Right. That's right, R2. We're going to do the Dagobah system. Okay. So I think. And then I'm going to top it with lime. So you ready for this? Okay. Yeah. All right. We got to negotiate the mozzarella here. There we go. Let me clean that plate up a little bit. That is, we have a little lime juice. Okay. And there you have it. Cheesy, spicy Korean fire chicken. Now, if you want to up the presentation ante a little bit, I don't know how you do that with stringy cheese. And I guess maybe throw some cilantro leaves on there, but it doesn't really matter. This is, again, a dish that I am encouraging you to make on a weeknight when presentation, it just doesn't matter, dude. You know. Oof, yeah, let me get some of that. Mm. Mm. Get ready to be happy. Mm. It's awesome. I mean, it's like, that's really delicious. You can eat this all year round. It's hot outside. It's definitely got some heat to it, for sure. I mean, you're going to be sweating at the end of this bowl. It's great for hot weather and for cold weather. So, yeah, I'm pretty goddamn happy right now to go get into it with this even more. But, again, Buldak, Korean fire chicken, easy, you know, under 30-minute meal, essentially, if you don't count marinating time. Actually, you don't even have to marinate, to be honest. You could probably just put the chicken in the paste. I just find it's always good to marinate if you have the time. But if you don't worry about it. It's all good. Sushi rice, good to go. Chris, is that all we got? Does that signal the end of our journey? I think so. Well, I want to shout out to our sponsors, Edge Compadres, obviously. Look how pretty, you know. Taco Escobar and Lazari Restaurants in Portland, and Allagash Brewing in Portland as well, which would also have several offerings that would go really well with this. I'm going with red wine because it's my go-to for everything like this to breakfast cereal, so whatever. If you like what you saw today, subscribe and like on our YouTube channel, Joe Riccio. If you really like what you saw, go to our Patreon at patreon.com/Food-Coma podcast and become a member. We have 3 different tiers, all named after different Roman emperors. The best thing there is just be a $10 pledge, and you're going to get the cookbook we're going to release next year. That'll have all the recipes from the show with really nice photography. It'll be very pretty. You know, I care about aesthetics. You wouldn't know it by looking at me, but I do. So I think it'll look nice, and I'm excited about it. And I'm Joe Riccio, and this is Food-Coma, my 70s kitchen.